Good morning or good afternoon if you're joining us from the East Coast. My name is Eduardo Silva. I'll be your host for today's webinar. We'll be coming back online in just a moment. We're going to allow a couple more minutes for our attendees to join us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. We really appreciate the opportunity to present to you yet another webinar in our series. Today's webinar, we're going to be focusing on the 20 must-know advertising terms to demystify your digital ads. We're going to be focusing on learning these terms and better capitalizing on your ads by doing so. On our agenda for today, we'll be sharing 20 of the most important advertising terms and providing insight into why they're so crucial, so your next marketing meeting is a successful one. My name is Eduardo Silva. I will be your host for today. I have 18 years of sales and marketing experience, and I'm really happy to be part of this industry as well as your host for today's webinar. A little bit about Foot Traffic. Foot Traffic is a digital advertising agency solely focused in the cannabis space, specifically for dispensaries and delivery services for over 5 years now. We got our start in dispensary marketing in Southern California, and now we cover North America as a whole, servicing all of our clients with a lot of their digital advertising needs. In order to better prepare ourselves for the webinar today, as we're going to be moving fairly quickly with a lot of content, I ask you to take a moment to just take those cell phones and put them face down, perhaps even on do not disturb for the next 30 minutes, as we're going to be covering a lot of information. Also, take a quick moment to familiarize yourself with the Zoom interface. There is a Q&A function, so find the dialog box there for Zoom, click on that Q&A function. We do have panelists here live that will be helping address those questions throughout the webinar. Do stick around as well. We do have a special offer for those attending today, but in addition to that, we'll be holding a short Q&A section at the end, as well as some next steps that you can take to get started. So let's jump right in. Do you remember that confusing quote from Rumsfeld years ago about knowing what you know and knowing what you don't know? While it seemed like a riddle at the time, I'm sure we are all aware that there's plenty we do not know. And we are aware that there's value in filling in those gaps. That's today's goal. We're going to flush out some of the advertising terms you may or may not have heard of, so that next time you talk to an advertising agency or even your internal marketing team, you will have the knowledge you need to ask the right questions and create the plans to help generate your dispensary more money. We're going to do these alphabetically, and there's quite a few. As I mentioned, we're going to be covering all of 20. So first and foremost, let's start with A/B testing. A/B testing is the act of creating different variants of a landing page, email, ad, or other copy, and seeing which performs better with your target demographic. One of the simplest ways to implement A/B testing is with email subject lines. Many email platforms have this feature baked in. They allow you to measure which email subject lines leads to either more opens or more clicks. You can send some people one subject line and another group a different subject line altogether. Then you can send your remaining audience an email with the subject line that is more likely to help you reach a specific goal that you set for yourself. This is a great way to test campaigns on a small scale before launching them to a larger pool of audience. For example, you can A/B test mobile display ads in 2 small geographic areas before running larger, broader campaigns to blanket your entire delivery zone or your addressable market for your brick and mortar dispensary. You can run A/B testing on just about anything. And the timeline is up to you as well. So for example, maybe you want to see which landing page converts the most visitors for your Google Ads. You can run 2 campaigns for a month to identify the winner, then switch to the winning campaign to continue to get more sales. CanSpan and Castle. CanSpan is a US law that details the expectations for US businesses when it comes to email marketing. It stands for Controlling the Assault of Non-Solicited Pornographic and Marketing Act. Its main purpose was to give individuals more protection from spam, phishing, and other unwanted email messaging. If your dispensary is sending out emails or plans on doing so, whether they are your deals, dispensary updates, or a newsletter, you need to understand this legislation in order to avoid huge fines. To be compliant with CanSpan, you need to have a clear opt-in for your email list, your company's name and address in your email, and an easy way to unsubscribe from your list. CASL stands for Canada Anti-Spam Legislation. It is the Canadian equivalent of CanSpan and aims to protect Canadians by deterring deceptive and damaging forms of commercial communication such as spam, phishing, identity theft, and spyware. To be CASL compliant, you must get consent to send emails and provide an easy way to unsubscribe from your list as well. Conversion. We're always talking about conversions here at Foot Traffic, and sometimes we have to stop to explain what it means because it can vary from situation to situation. A conversion is the act of someone completing a particular goal. For example, if you want to collect email addresses and implement a pop-up on your website to try to get new subscribers, then every time somebody signs up, that would be a conversion. Similarly, when you're measuring sales, every time someone clicks through to your website and makes a purchase, that's also a conversion. To gauge the effectiveness of your advertising, you will want to know how many people you're reaching and how many of them are converting. Divide your conversion by the people you have reached and multiply that by 100 to get your conversion rate. A good conversion rate will vary based on your overall goals for the campaign, where your dispensary is located, the advertising channel that you're using, and how crowded the market in your area is. And if you have questions about specific conversion rates in your market, we will put a contact link here in the chat window. Feel free to request some more information from us. Happy to do so. CTA is an acronym that stands for Call to Action. If you joined one of our previous webinars, you know we are always talking about having a CTA on your website or on your ads. Your CTA is crucial for getting customers to convert. Basically, you want to tell them what to do. Think, buy now, order online, and sign up. Those are all calls to action. There are 2 things you need to think about when it comes to CTAs. The first is the wording. It needs to be compelling. You really want to convince people to take that next step. The second is placement. Where you put your CTA matters. You don't want it to be buried so that no one ever sees it. For example, we generally want website CTAs above the fold. That means that we want website visitors to see the CTA without having to scroll around the website. This makes your CTA highly visible and can help increase your overall conversions. You should use CTAs on your website, in your email newsletter, in your text messages, and in your ads. They can include a deal or other incentive to help increase your chances of scoring that ultimate sale. Your CTR is your click-through rate. This is the number of clicks your ad or a particular call to action has received, divided by the number of times it was seen, and then multiplied by 100. When you create relevant copy that attracts the attention of your target audience in your market, you should have a high CTR. This will depend on the channel you're using and how crowded your market is as well. If your CTR is low, you may need to revise the ad copy or the ad settings. You can troubleshoot this by trying out different copy in the A/B testing phase as well. You can also make adjustments to the ad perimeters by changing up the demographics with which you are actually targeting. So let's say that your mobile banner display ads are seeing a low CTR. To troubleshoot this, we might try to change up the text, the imagery, the targeting parameters, or the deal as well. Each of these can actually be A/B tested as well to help find a combination that leads to the highest click-through rate. Your customer acquisition cost is the amount of ad spend it takes to convert someone into a customer. You can figure out this number by dividing your ad spend by the number of new customers you've acquired. This is an important metric to track so that you can pinpoint which advertising channels are bringing in new customers at the lowest possible cost. If your goal is to increase your customer base, this is a useful measurement for determining which advertising channel will help you reach your goal without blowing your budget out of the water. Display ads are visual ads that appear on apps as well as websites. They may be a banner ad or on the top or the bottom of the website, or they may be in the middle of the copy itself or on the website sidebar. Display ads can be run on mobile devices, on desktops, and they can be targeted in a variety of ways. You can choose who sees your ads by setting particular parameters like when they will go live, where the ads will appear, and particular audience demographics or online behaviors. This targeting makes these types of ads really effective. When you target people, you can create ads that are more relevant to them and more likely to get that conversion rate that you're looking for. When you do a search on Google, you often get ad popping up at the top of the page. Each time these ads appear, it's considered an impression. Because impressions help show how many times your ads has shown up. They help you determine also whether you are using the best parameters to reach the people that you want to reach. For example, if you run a Google ad and you notice that a week later your impressions are low, you may want to check whether you choose the best keywords for your ads overall. You can also look at other targeting attributes to broaden them and increase your overall reach. You can measure impressions for Google Ads, display ads, and even search. For the latter, Google Analytics will fill you in on how many times your website has come up as a search result. Not all impressions will lead to clicks. If you notice that your click-through rate is low while your impressions are high, you may want to refine your keywords and better target who can see your ads. Ideally, you want to target the right people at the right time so that they're more likely to click on your ads or link and convert. Your KPIs are the different metrics you are going to track for any of these marketing initiatives. It stands for Key Performance Indicators. The KPI you want to track will vary based on the ads you are running and your overall goals. For example, for search engine optimization, also known as SEO, we would track how many new and recurring visitors stop by your website, how long they stay, how many pages they visit, how many transactions they made, and how much money they have spent. With this information, you can then take the changes to your SEO strategy to make improvements. If, for example, people aren't staying on your website for long, you may have a user design problem. You can check whether your site is attractive, easy to navigate, and mobile friendly. If it's not, you could be driving people away. When you measure the right KPIs, you get clues into what's working and what's not so that you can improve your overall campaigns and make them more cost effective. Failing to measure is just letting money go down the drain. A landing page is a web page that you link to from an ad. This page's sole purpose is to get people to convert. A landing page needs to have good web copy, user-friendly design, and easy to see CTAs. Landing pages can be customized for each of the campaigns that you are running so that they are relevant to the specific segment and target audience you are going after. For example, if you have a new customer Google Ads campaign that offers a deal for first-time customers only, you can create a landing page with a special code and a link to your menu. Simultaneously, you can run a different Google Ads campaign with a different deal that leads to its own landing page. To do this, you need to make sure that you are making the most of all of the different parameters Google allows you to use in order to target your ads. The lifetime value of a customer is the number of the amount of money a customer is expected to spend over the length of their relationship with your dispensary. To get this number, first, multiply your average transaction amount by your average transaction frequency to get your customer value. Then multiply that number by your average customer lifespan to get your customer lifetime value. We will enter this equation into the chat window so you can take it away with you. But if you need some help calculating this, by all means, please do feel free to schedule a chat with us. Here's the thing. You already invested money in acquiring this number. That was an investment in your relationship. If you want to extract the maximum value from that relationship, then you need to nurture it and grow loyalty. You want them to feel comfortable shopping with you, and you want to be top of mind when they think cannabis. To do this, you will need to focus on a variety of factors, including customer service, your product catalog, your pricing and deals, and your loyalty program overall. A lookalike audience is a customer segment that is created because it is similar to another customer segment. This is especially useful with display ads and social media advertising because you're not providing personal information about the customer who's purchased from you based on a particular ad. Creating a lookalike audience provides you the opportunity to market to people with those similar attributes, like online behavior and demographic information. This is a great way to expand your reach while still maintaining the data privacy of your customers. You can use lookalike audience targeting for display ads, Google ads, and even social media marketing. Pay-per-click means that you pay only when someone clicks on your ad. It is often shortened by PPC. Google Ads is the most common form of pay-per-click advertising, though it's not the only one. When you create a PPC campaign, you will need to bid on how much you are willing to pay for a click. The platform will then determine when and where to show your ads based on their relevance and bid price. A winning bid can get you in the top of the search results, giving you a lot of visibility. Similarly, there are ads where you pay for impressions, like display ads. These ads are billed based on how many times they show up, rather than how many times people click on them. For both of these types of ads, you will want to measure your cost per click or your cost per impression to determine their effectiveness. We all know that images on your screens are made up of pixels. But for the purposes of advertising, a marketing pixel is actually a bit of code that allows you to get information about your website visitors' online behaviors. You can include a pixel on your website that helps you better understand your customer and see what they click on so you can create better advertising for them. This information can also help you retarget people who visit your website, which is what I'm going to cover next. Let's say you shopped for shoes online yesterday. When you go to your social media accounts today, you may notice ads for shoes from the same website you were previously browsing. This is called retargeting or remarketing. Retargeting is good for creating brand awareness and staying top of mind. It serves as a reminder to potential customers that they are interested in your services and makes it easy for them to find you again. You can retarget customers via Google Ads or display ads so that when they're finally ready to make that purchase, they come to you. Revenue attribution is the act of tying your marketing to your sales. Revenue attribution can help you identify the most profitable advertising channels so you can invest more of your budget into what works for your store. With digital marketing, you want to know that the money you are investing in Google Ads, Geo Ads, search engine optimization, SMS, and social media are all resulting in sales, as well as how many of those sales can be attributed to each of those specific channels. If you want to understand how your ads are performing, it's crucial that you get revenue attribution set up. Otherwise, you risk wasting your advertising dollars. We have a webinar solely dedicated to revenue attribution. I recommend you check this out because it's so important. You can find it under foottraffic.me/webinars. And we'll put the link here in the chat for you once again. ROAS stands for return on ad spend. Unlike return on investment, also known as ROI, which should take into account cost of goods sold, return on ad spend focuses solely on the amount you put into advertising and the sales that the advertising generates. To get your return on ad spend, divide the revenue attributed to your advertising by the amount you spent on those ads. It's so simple. With ROAS, you can compare across advertising channels. Rather than focusing on just revenue, you can see how many sales you got per dollar spent on advertising. This can provide further insights into which channels are the best for your dispensary in your market. Every market is different, and that's why it's important to collect data and measure all of your revenue attribution. Foot Traffic, we do not launch one campaign without this in place. If you don't have revenue attribution set up, you will need to be able to accurately define your ROAS. So the two go hand in hand, as I mentioned before. Segmentation is the act of dividing your context in order to market to them based on different criteria. For example, if you are an MSO that operates in multiple states, then it's crucial that you implement geographic segmentation so that you are sending each of your contacts relevant information that relates to the dispensary closest to them. You can also create customer segments based on other demographic or behavioral data. Segmentation can help you get a higher ROAS because your advertising and marketing will be more relevant to your different segments. You can also provide a basis for running A/B testing or for creating unique campaigns. For example, if you want to bring old customers back to your shop, you can create a segment based on last time people made a purchase. You can then create a campaign that is sent to individuals who haven't made a purchase in 3 months to entice them to stop by your shop once again. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it is the process of making your website easier for search engines to find and index so they can actually generate more results on those search engines that are more appropriate to the content that you have on your website. Generally, you optimize around relevant keywords that people would like to search for to find your products or services. SEO has been around for a very long time, and it's not going anywhere. Google is the dominant force in this market, and many people turn to it several times a day to find what they want. If you want to make sure that you show up when somebody's looking for your dispensary in your area, then you need to make sure you have a local SEO strategy. Once again, foot traffic was actually built on search engine optimization as a service for our clients in dispensary marketing. If you want to learn more about it, we're happy to have a conversation and further explore either revamping your strategy or creating a brand new one for you. Targeting is the act of fine-tuning your ads so that they reach your ideal audience. You can target ads based on a variety of criteria. One of the most popular ways to target ads is geographically. So let's say you are in Vegas and you are a dispensary. You may want to create mobile display ads that target tourists at the airport and other popular hotspots and send those people to a special deal. Or you run a delivery service. You can target the neighborhoods in which you offer delivery and make sure that your ads only show up there. How you target your ads will depend on your overall goals for your campaign and who you're trying to reach. A knowledgeable dispensary advertising agency can help you nail down your targeting so that you're reaching the right people. And that's precisely what we focus on here. So let's turn to the audience for any questions. Once again, you do have a Q&A function, but we can open up even the chat window here, send in any questions you may have. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Wonderful, great first question. What terms do you think are most important to be versed in? Great question. Yes, there was a lot of information that we shared here today. So let's pick some of those top terms that I find or our team finds most important for the dispensary and delivery service market. First and foremost, number one on that list would have to be revenue attribution. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. That is a rule by which we operate. So revenue attribution is going to give you exactly how much revenue each one of those marketing channels you're engaged in is generating. Very, very important. I would say that the next order of importance here would probably be ROAS, because once you have revenue, it's fairly simple to get your ROAS. But ROAS is important because it gives you a a revenue per dollar, right? It's not just about making big investments, but driving higher profits based on each one of those units or those dollar figures that you're investing. So ROAS would be number two. And then I would say the third, probably really important as well, is going to be conversion rate. Conversion rate oftentimes leads to a lot of areas of opportunities for all of our clients. And we always try to measure this because you go into these different markets, some of which are dense markets with a lot of competition, and you think that perhaps you're not reaching the right individuals, but in reality, you're getting a lot of impressions, you're getting a lot of clicks, but something on your website is keeping people from actually finishing a sale. So conversion rate will uncover a lot of those challenges and pain points. And I do believe that if you were to focus your energy on just these three, you should be setting yourself for somewhat of success, and you will make it a lot easier for you to find all of the other variables that we discussed here. And if you do need help with this, once again, do not be shy. Go ahead and schedule a call with us. We're happy to share some lessons learned and help you through this process. I want to take a moment to just thank you so much for taking the time once again out of your day to join us. We really appreciate having the opportunity to speak to you. And if you do have an opportunity to, we would certainly be very, very happy to speak to you offline. But have a great rest of your week, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you so much.